You mentioned Jordan Burroughs. 79-kilogram matchup is going to be incredible. It's a rematch from last year, and it's the 10-time world and Olympic medalist Jordan Burroughs. He's won 7 titles, including Olympic gold. But Chance Marsteller took a match from JB last year. If Chance is on his game and JB isn't, Chance Marsteller could be on this world team.
Yeah, no one saw this coming last year. When Jordan took on Chance Marsteller, it was like, okay, let's focus on some other matches because this one's not going to be interesting. And next thing you know, Chance Marsteller, a master of tactics, was able to take a match. Only 12 different wrestlers in Jordan Burroughs' incredible career have beaten Jordan Burroughs. An incredible accomplishment. And then another matchup that has even more intrigue than before, Kyle Snyder versus Jaden Cox. Kyle Snyder, Olympic champion. Jaden Cox, Olympic bronze medalist, a world champion. They have been on a collision course for years, and we've been waiting for this matchup to occur on this stage. But now another wrinkle, as Jaden Cox, on crutches on the side of the mat, makes weight, but there's a lot of speculation. Is Jaden Cox going to be healthy enough to take on the task of facing Kyle Snyder?
I can't wait for the 86-kilogram matchup. And it's not safe to say these guys are familiar opponents, but certainly familiar with each other as former training partners. Both guys in the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club room. They used to go together a little more, haven't wrestled in a little over a year. Can the 3-time NCAA champ, the youngster Aaron Brooks, take out the Olympic gold medalist David Taylor? I know he thinks he can, but I can't wait for that one.
Coach Cale Sanderson's got nothing but first world problems in his room as he's got matchup Nittany Lion versus Nittany Lion 86 and also 74 kilograms where we're going to have Kyle Dake taking on Jason Nolf. Now, 1 year ago, it was Dake and Nolf on the Final X stage. Dake won in 2 matches, but Jason Nolf narrowed the gap significantly from the Olympic trials loss where Dake dominated him. Jason Nolf had the lead at the end of each first period before Kyle Dake ran him down. Since that time, Kyle Dake won another world championship and then made the move to Nittany Lion Wrestling Club where he now trains alongside Jason Nolf. Cannot wait for that one along with all these other matches, including...
We're going to finish with a fitting heavyweight finale. We've got an NCAA champion, a Hodge Trophy winner, a junior world champion in Mason Parris, and he's the underdog. Gable Stevenson's basically doubled up all those credentials. He's got 2 NCAA titles. He's got 2 Hodge trophies. Not only does he have a bunch of age-level world titles, but he's an Olympic champion as well, and he's still so young. Gable Stevenson, massive favorite. Can Mason Parris make some adjustments? We're going to find out.
Yeah, that's the question. No one loves to end the show like Gable Stevenson, and the show's not going to be over after this session, of course. We're going to have round 1 now, 6 Eastern. We're going to start round 2 or 3. But coming up next, we're going to have the national anthem at 57 kilograms, Zane Richards versus Thomas Gilman.
And hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to the Prudential Center. Before we kick things off, we ask you to please rise if you're able. Remove all hats and caps and silence all cell phones. Singing the Star Spangled Banner today, having performed off-Broadway in theaters around the country and throughout Europe, please welcome Katrina Coletti.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Ladies and gentlemen, Katrina Coletti.
All right, here we go. Up next, 57 kilograms. It's going to be Zane Richards. It's going to be Thomas Gilman kicking things off here, round one of Final X. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with the action.
Together in one location, right here at the Prudential Center in New Jersey. Wrestling fans, this is Final X. This historic event is also the 13th Beat the Streets New York annual benefit, which raises more than $1 million each year to help Go Youth Wrestling in New York City.
And now turn your attention to the center mat. Beat the Streets New York Executive Director Brendan Buckley and his son Jack welcome them to share a few words on the Beat the Streets organization and Final X.
Hello, everybody. What's up, New Jersey? We're so pumped to be in this wrestling-rich straight in New Jersey, and want to welcome everybody to Final X 2023. My name is Brendan Buckley, and I'm the Executive Director here at Beat the Streets Wrestling in New York City. Next to me, this little guy is my son, Jack Buckley. He's 5 years old, and I didn't want to miss the opportunity for him to experience this life-changing sport and to watch greatness and all of these wonderful role models and athletes performing today. We're clapping for you. Beat the Streets is honored and grateful for the opportunity to sponsor Final X and some of the world's greatest athletes in the world's greatest sport. Today marks the 13th time of our 16 annual benefits where we've had high caliber wrestling to strengthen and build the wrestling community and market USA Wrestling and this great sport, but also to broadcast the mission that is Beat the Streets Wrestling. Today is our largest event with a planned 9,000 plus fans in this arena here in the state of New Jersey to watch Final X. It's the culmination of so many hardworking, passionate people that care and support the sport of wrestling. The Prudential Center, USA Wrestling, FloWrestling, the board from Beat the Streets, our leadership council, my staff, and our production team, whose work this special event wouldn't be possible. Additionally, our sponsors, Jersey Mike, UPS, Cliff Keen, and all of our donors, and to all of you that are here today, whether you made a donation to Beat the Streets or you purchased a ticket, your support matters, and we're grateful. Today, you'll obviously witness feats of greatness, and it's a culmination of a lifetime of work from our competing athletes in men's and women's freestyle, as well as men's Greco. But additionally, you're going to get to experience and hear from the people who the Beat the Streets organization and the proceeds from today directly benefit. You'll hear from senior student athletes who are graduating high school and going on to future college careers, entering the workforce. And you'll hear that how the proceeds from this event will directly benefit them. We have two seniors, Lexi and Devin, as well as alumni Barry and Jess, And additionally, we'll be celebrating 10 years of girls wrestling in New York City, where Beat the Streets and our partners from the Public Schools Athletic League were pioneers in the girls wrestling movement that we're all enjoying and experiencing today. If you'd like to help future generations of wrestlers, you care about supporting urban youth and youth development, then I encourage you and graciously ask you to take your phone and help us reach our goal of $1.3 million today and texting Final X to 44321. I know we can do it, and we hope you'll help out and support us reach that goal. Thank you. Best wishes to the athletes, coaches, and let's enjoy the day and have a great show.
We begin Series 1, Match 1, Greco-Roman at 55 kilos. Wearing the red, representing the Dubuque Wrestling Club and Titan Mercury, Brady Coons.
And his opponent, wearing the blue, representing the Army World-Class Athlete Program, Dalton Duffield.
Men's Freestyle, 57 kilos. Wearing the red, representing the Nittany Lion Wrestling Club and Titan Mercury, Thomas Gilman.
And there you see running out to the mat, Thomas Gilman, the reigning world silver medalist, a guy that's made so many teams, won an Olympic medal. He's a world champion. He's looking to make yet another team. And standing in his way, coming to the mat right now, Zane Richards from Illinois.
Zane Richards in the blue. He's coming out right now, and he is coming off by far his best year on the senior level, and evidenced by making it here to Final X. Won the U.S. Open title. He's been looking really good.
He looked fantastic in the U.S. Open final, taking out Nick Suriano, punching his ticket to take on Thomas Gilman here.
Now, Thomas Gilman has owned this series historically, but Richards does look to be much improved. We'll see how well he's able to translate that into success here. Gilman is a tough guy to game pump for. He's got so many ways to beat you.
And the interesting thing about it, we're watching him in the weigh-in line, and Gilman standing behind Richards, and you wouldn't guess that Zane was the guy that wrestled at 133 and Gilman at 125. Thomas looked to have a clear size advantage, not just height, but just overall build, and Thomas Gilman gonna be a big favorite here, but Zane used to the underdog situation. They'd wrestled twice before, lost by tech, but that was the same scenario with Nick Suriano. Suriano had teched him twice, and he beat Nick. You can't count Zane Richards out of this matchup.
100%, and I can't believe it. Final X just about to get underway. We got the opening whistle coming up right now. Let's go.
Handshake, and we are underway. Match number 1, 57 kilograms. In the red, that's Thomas Gilman, Nittany Lion Wrestling Club, taking on Zane Richards, Illinois, RTC.
The classic style.
Zane Richards has really made an effort to improve in the hand fight. You see him get to his underhook. It's Gilman you expect to see on his underhook.
Gilman wrestles really well out of a left side underhook, but can attack both sides. There you see him getting to that left side. He does a great job driving towards the edge of the mat, forces bad shots, can run behind or just get easy step out points. But right now with Zane Richards, you see him grounding himself, feeling that pressure from Gilman. Has to put himself on the knee so he doesn't give up the step out point. But that's not stopping Gilman. Looks, he's trying to get up underneath to bring him back to his feet. Gilman won't score a point because Zane Richards grounded himself, which means he dropped to his knees before he stepped out of bounds.
Zane staying grounded in that position, already a tactical adjustment. Gilman has scored so many points in their previous 2 matches from driving Zane to the edge, so already a good adjustment. Oh, Gilman on a shot.
Sweep single now standing for Thomas Gilman. Whizzer here for Zane Richards. Now the whizzer is cleared. He has him towards the edge so he can work for 1, an easy step out or try to finish. He looks at the club and step behind. Now backside finish attempt there from the Dragon. They're going to get the 1. Thomas Gilman strikes first, 1-0 lead, 1:54 to go in the first period.
I like what Gilman did there. He didn't just drive him straight out and take the 1. He gave himself an opportunity for the 2, but didn't forfeit the 1, so really nice by Gilman.
Gilman's tactics are ever evolving and improving, and one of the key developments for him over the last couple of years.
Zane look for that shot there, and now he's grabbing the elbow as they come back up.
Short offense position here potentially for Gilman. As you see him, he's driving him toward the edge, and as he gets to the zone, Zane drops to his knees for the 2nd time this match, and they're going to blow him up, bring him back to center.
Halfway through this first period, just 1-0, and the longer this match stays close, the better it is for Zane Richards.
One thing you can't discount is the pace of Thomas Gilman. It can take a toll on his opponents. As we got a big 5 on the other mat, Greco. And there's going to be a passive warning against Zane Richards. His first warning, not on the clock yet.
He'll have to get hit a 2nd time to go on the clock, and you see Zane try to throw that by. Gilman, though, back on a shot.
Same side for that sweep single. Now, Gilman, you say he's extended here, but look, we've seen him do it throughout his career. Big lift and the crotch there, trying to get him to a standing single. He does. Still that whizzer for Zane Richards as he brings him to the edge. He's got 1, working for 2, and they're going to give the 1.
And you know what? Really nice adjustment there by Thomas Gilman. We've talked about the improvements Richards has made, but one of the things that used to be a knock against Gilman was he could get to a leg but had trouble finishing. He has shored that up, and he's gotten to be a really good finisher. He didn't stay extended, brought that thing back up, and got the step out.
And 99% of all wrestlers, that you get to that lock on that single that extended, you don't have the power or the technique to finish it, but Gilman able to get up to his feet, drive him to the edge for 1, extending his lead now 2-0, 20 seconds to go in the first period. And he's got Zane Richards towards the zone once more. They'll blow it dead, bring him back to center. 15 to go in this first period.
If either one of these guys can get a score in this waning seconds of this period, it'll be huge. Richards gets to a shot.
Head outside shot here for Zane Richards, trying to finish with short time. He's close, but looking to sit the corner is Gilman as time expires. No exposure there. Time was up. But a great shot from Zane Richards, proving he can get in on the legs. Finishing will be another matter. If he had a little more time, maybe he would have got 2.
Yeah, and he kind of got to that high crotch position. He's really good in the high crotch. That's a position that he's been hitting since college. And you know, before that, I wonder, you know, if he learned a little something. He can get in on the legs of Thomas Gilman.
And he's within 2. You know, a takedown would put Zane Richards in the lead by criteria. This is freestyle wrestling. There are no ties. Someone is always winning. Someone is always losing as we are underway now in the 2nd period.
Talked about Gilman's pace. Zane has a really nice pace as well. You saw in that U.S. Open final with Nick Soriano. He was able to force Soriano to make a mistake late, and it was really pace that did that.
Wrist on the left side for Gilman, driving an underhook on the right momentarily. We've seen a left-sided single leg for Gilman primarily, but he can attack both sides. Trying to clear out of that tie. You see Zane Richards wants out of that underhook, and he clears. There's a shot, but there's a go behind in this too. And that is Zane Richards' best position. His go behind to his right is really fast. That's how he took down Nick Soriano. And he just took down Thomas Gilman. It's 2-2 criteria lead for Zane Richards.
And Gilman cannot rest under there. He gets blown back up, but Zane Richards has really good parterre offense as well. He's got a good gut wrench, and he can make you pay if he gets on top.
Gilman immediately jacks an underhook, brings him towards the edge. Now in the zone is Zane Richards, but a hard whizzer. This is a key position for Zane.
He is good in this whizzer. He has gotten out of some tricky situations, but look at that. Gilman continues to attack. Are they going to give a step out? Yes, they are. And no.
Caution and one offered, and not confirmed. Just a one. So 3-2 Gilman. A one-pointer for Zane would put him back in the lead by criteria. And it was a criteria victory over Nick Soriano in the US Open Finals. So not an unfamiliar position for Zane Richards.
Richards kind of finally starting to take a little bit of ground. It's been Gilman who's been winning the center of the mat battle throughout. Hard snap.
Good snap from Zane Richards. And now underhook on the left side for Zane Richards, but Gilman has good head position, and Zane indicating to the ref, he's like, hey, he's tying up my fingers, tying up my hand. So they'll blow it dead, give him a restart. 90 seconds to go, sweep single, but way extended it is Gilman. Feed him some hips now as Zane Richards, now looking to drag maybe right side. Now they come up to their feet over-under position now.
Good job, Gilman recovering back up to his feet and staying in strong position. And Gilman digging this underhook. He's got to be aware Zane Richards does have an arm spin that he can hit.
Yeah, Zane Richards very savvy upper body, and that's one area where he can really contend with Gilman. Is he's not uncomfortable at getting the underhooks or defending underhooks. Shot, but there, once again extended, now stepping over is Zane Richards. He puts a leg in, but the arm is in between. This is not a great position for Zane Richards. And now lifted up in the air. What is going on? Behind the back, now a wizard seatbelt. More of a standard position here for Gilman and Richards.
Absolutely crazy sequence right now. 40 seconds to go. Gilman recovers up. Hard to believe no points were scored in that sequence.
That was unbelievable. And I wonder if Zane got a little too ambitious trying to throw that boot in without that arm cleared. If he clears that arm, he may have a more simple go behind. But as it stands, it's a one-point match. There's a shot, it's a takedown for Zane Richards. He's in the lead, 4-3, 23 seconds to go.
Threw that underhook by and got on top, and he wants his gut wrench bad. Not gonna get it, they're gonna come back to their feet. Now Thomas Gilman has to come get one.
He needs two. One won't do it for Gilman. He's gonna have to get a takedown. Gilman needs to get to 5 points. And we're underway here, closing seconds of this match, 13 to go.
Zane underhook. What does Gilman have?
Gilman's got to clear out of this underhook, just 5 seconds to go. And that is gonna do it. Zane Richards continues his run of upsets and takes out Thomas Gilman in match number 1.
6 minutes into Final X, we already have an upset that nobody would have predicted.
And Gilman and his corner, they'll head back and they'll have to make some adjustments.
Absolutely. And
Zane Richards, look at him, sprinting off the mat, fired up. And he says one more, and he's exactly right about it.
And we knew the hand fight was gonna have to be an area of improvement. It certainly was. Zane Richards is putting himself in a position to go to the World Championships with just one more win.
Yeah, I mean, early on, it was like Gilman's in position. He's where he wants to be. He's getting to his hooks. He's driving, he's moving, but he wasn't able to get those twos. The ones, ultimately not getting any of those finishes were Thomas's undoing.
If you think about the last 2 matches Zane Richards has won, 3 of his takedowns came from that go behind. And you can look at that and say, well, maybe his opponents are just making mistakes, but he's forcing them into those positions.
Unbelievable. We got match number 2 getting ready to head out. Here's some of the highlights.
You know
what?
what?
You're seeing some of these are positions where Gilman can finish but didn't. He just gets 1 and 1, and here's that shot, a little errant and maybe a little too predictable. He fired the same single leg, I don't know how many times, and Zane started to get a good read and was able to run behind. Almost identical position there for that step out, and there, throws that underhook by. Gilman goes straight to the ground, and that ultimately was the difference.
You gotta wonder if maybe a little bit of time off the scale will be helpful for Gilman. All right, coming up next, we're gonna have 61 kilogram action coming at you. This is another really interesting matchup coming at you. Vito Arujau, Nahshon Garrett, two of the fastest surging wrestlers in the country, regardless of weight, and they're gonna battle two Cornell NCAA champs. The story writes itself.
Yeah, you look back, Nahshon had a sneaky US Open where he got third, and all the talk was about Vito Arujau, who beat Nahshon. But then you look at the warpath that Nahshon was on that backside, teching almost everyone to take third. And then he goes through a loaded challenge tournament, beats Dayton Fix, Austin DeSanto to make the team, to make Final X. Now he's staring across from Vito Arujau, former training partners, two Cornell NCAA champions, as you mentioned. And there you see, marching to a beat of his own drum as always, is Nahshon Garrett.
Both these guys just walked out here with a significant amount of swagger on them, man. Look at this, Nahshon, so confident. I can't wait for this one.
So with 57, you had physicality, hand fighting, grinding. With this one, the speed is gonna stick out. If you haven't watched these guys wrestle yet, their speed on their leg attacks is unbelievable. Both guys great from the top position. They can get turns in parterre. If you watch their US Open match, it was really a one-sequence match. A 4 and a 2 for Vito really blew that match out, but other than that, it was pretty close.
You mentioned the four-pointer. These guys have wrestled 3 times. Vito has hit a four-pointer every single match. Nahshon has got to limit that type of big movement, and if he does, I think he's going to be in a really good position. Man, looking around here in the Prudential Center, we got Greco action, we got women's action. There's so much happening right now. I don't even know what happened in the other 2 matches because I'm so focused on this one.
There's some big booms on the Greco mat. I know that as Vito and Nahshon shake hands, and now we are underway. This is match number 1. Low single right away for Vito Arujau in the red, taking on Nahshon Garrett, and he times the shot well, does Vito, but good job squaring up Nahshon Garrett, who's in the blue.
These guys not making you wait long to see the speed already in the first 15 seconds. We have a couple lightning quick attacks. Hard snap there from Nahshon.
Shot from Vito. It's Nahshon Garrett snapping the head, trying to run to an angle, but nothing's there. Hard left foot lead there for Nahshon Garrett. Uses fakes from space to open up his opponents. Fires off a double leg. Good knee sprawl from Vito Arujau early on here, 40 seconds in.
Nahshon controlling center. That could be important if we don't see any points go on the board, as controlling center is what it takes to get your opponent hit for passivity.
And right away, we're gonna have a passive warning against Vito Arujau. One more warning, he will go on the shot clock. If you're on the clock, you have 30 seconds to score. If you don't, your opponent gets 1 point.
All 3 of the matches between these guys have been high scoring, and look at that, Vito
Single leg. Single leg for Nahshon. He's got him towards the edge. He's gonna work to finish just like Gilman did, but this time he can. He's gonna get the 2. Great finish on the edge there for Nahshon Garrett. He gets that single, he steps out of it, and he threatens that gut enough there where Vito had to bring his hips down to the mat, give up the opening score. It's 2-0 Nahshon to start this one.
And you saw Nahshon hit that at the World Team Trials a couple times where he got to the edge and his opponents tried to go quad pod. He just went big. So Vito concedes 2, but that's better than what it could have been.
Level change there from Vito. He's got a great single leg of his own. He's got powerful upper body moves as well. Club from Nahshon.
After the World Team Trials, Nahshon said, Vito has not wrestled this version of me. And so far, he seems to be right in the lead. A lot of match to go, though.
Yep, 6 minutes, a lot can happen, especially with these two. They're indicating towards Nahshon now.
And your winner, from Sun-Kissed Kids,
a lot of activity from both, but both have a warning now.
And Greco, we've got the
Nahshon working kind of a head tap and a single both sides so far. Hasn't been able to connect, but the one shot.
Yeah, you see Nahshon's fakes and his movement really getting Vito to react. You see Vito
in the face. The ref will stop it, say, keep hands out of the face.
Vito has been a little bit more on the defensive than Nahshon so far, even right there in that fake, and there's a little re-attack attempt for Vito.
Cornell grab. 26
Collar tie for Vito Araujo as we're coming up on 26 seconds to go in this first period. There's a single leg from Vito, not in there. Good defense so far from Nation as he's able to evade a flurry of attacks from Vito Araujo. Re-attack from Vito, stings it, that's gonna be 4 for Vito. Huge 4, and just like you said, David, he's got a 4 every time they've met, and he just got another one, and he takes the lead 4-2 into the second period.
Unbelievable, and you know, the timing may have saved Nation there. Vito was working for that leg lace. The official was signaling that he needed to open up, but didn't matter. Hey, we're gonna take a replay. Look at this. Here's his 4-pointer. Man, gets it big, and that was off Nation's original attack. Vito's so good in the re-attacks. He just ran right through him.
Great re-attack, and you know, maybe saved by the bell a little bit here. We saw the leg lace of Vito Araujo. He was working in position to maybe get a turn before the clock expired, but I'm almost wondering on that sequence, did Nation work too hard to counter that and ended up flooring himself instead of turning down?
I think it's possible. Definitely looked like he was trying to avoid anything and instead gave up 4. And I think you're right about the end of the period saving him on that lace. Vito was getting there, and the official was going to give him time to work because Nation wasn't opening up and was fighting those fingers. But second period, here we go.
So that 4 is huge, not just because it put Vito up 2 points, but from a criteria perspective, remember, no ties. It's the first criteria is the biggest hold. Right now, Vito's got a big 4. That could be the difference.
We're kind of back to where we were at the beginning of the first period. Nation taking center, but Vito now with the lead.
Both guys have to be so disciplined with their head, hands, where their feet are. One little mistake, as you can see, can cost you dearly. Nation paid a big price at the end of the first period.
And he's picking up his footwork a little bit.
Both guys have been warned, so one passivity warning will put the other guy on the clock.
Wonder if we're going to see Vito go on that clock pretty soon. Oh, there's a shot, though.
Not like that.
Oh, my gosh.
Beautiful attack from Vito Araujo. Like an outside step, it looked like able to finish. No problem. Kind of ghost Nation there. 6-2 now the lead for Vito Araujo.
Vito's always had a lot of ways to score. He just continues to develop more attacks. And no gut wrench. So they're going to come back to their feet, but 6-2 now. And a 4-pointer for Vito means Nation needs a 4-pointer of his own or 5 points.
Yeah, long road back for Nation now, down 6-2 with the big criteria advantage for Vito. Vito, one of the few guys you see just openly just cross their ankles.
Looking for a fall here.
But it never really bites him.
It doesn't.
He was just circling to his left, and I don't know, we got a little hands to the face there or blood.
And the fall was confirmed.
Yeah, a little blood time.
And Vito taking a seat, getting some breath, some controlled breathing there. And yeah, it's a pretty good cut on the bridge of the nose there for Nation. Nation certainly is capable of 4-point moves. Probably not his ideal strategy, but I think we're going to take a look at that outside step.
Oh yeah, that's when they collide there.
Oh, okay, we're looking at the blood.
So they'll get that cleaned up. Nation always had that bandage above his nose when he wrestled NCAA. I don't know if it's that same area opened up, but nothing new for him to get a little cut on the face. All part of the deal here in wrestling.
Vito sitting down, trying to get that heart rate down.
And for Nation, I don't think you think about a 4-pointer here. I think you get on top, get a takedown, get on top, see what you can get together. It's not going to be, if you start thinking I need to come back all at once, that's a way to dig yourself in a deeper hole. You just got to get a takedown, see if you can get something going in parterre.
Yeah, 100%. And he definitely has parterre options. Saw him hit gut wrenches and leg lace at World Team Trials. He can make stuff happen there.
Check the screen. Final X to full 4, 3, 2, 1.
If it gets really late in the match, don't be surprised if he tries to figure out a way to get to his double overs.
That is a fair point. I forgot about the upper body prowess that Nation has, but you know, Vito, as he's strutting up and down the mat, Vito, very tough upper body. He's good with double underhooks in his own right.
during blood time, Vito is posing for the cameras. He's just holding his singlet up, showing him the logo. This guy is ultra confident right now, and this moment definitely not too big for Vito.
He's been on some big stages. You know, he wrestled in the NCAA finals. An incredible run where he won Most Outstanding Wrestler when he major Dayton fix and took out Roman Bravo Young, the reigning two-time NCAA champion and one of the bigger upsets of the NCAA tournament. And Vito, since that time, has remained red hot. He came into the US Open, was utterly dominant, teched everyone except Nashon, who beat 9-2.
When someone gets hot like that, it seems like it's hard to maintain. Like, how is this guy gonna keep doing this? And then with Nashon being as hot as he was at the trials, I think a lot of people were maybe targeting this as a match where maybe Vito's hot streak had ended, but right now it doesn't look like it.
Yeah, he gave up that first two. You're like, okay. And then one little re-attack exchange tipped the scales.
Back to action.
All right, they're ready.
6-2 Arujau.
All right, Nashon's cleaned up. You get some breaths there too.
Both guys bouncing to get started, man. They're eager to get this action going again. We got minute 29 left in the match.
And back underway here, 90 seconds to go, and there's a shot again for Vito Arujau. Shallow though, looking to re-attack, but good discipline there from Vito Arujau, not giving an opening. Now he darts in again, single leg now, trying to stay under and prevent Nashon from grounding himself, but now a hard whizzer from Nashon Garrett, maybe gonna prevent things. Nashon attacking the leg, but it's Vito in a decent position to finish, but they're gonna go out of bounds, no score. 6-2, 1:08 to go in the second.
Both times Vito tried to hit that double leg re-attack, Nashon was able to capture a wrist and slow him down. Good adjustment.
Wrist fight in the middle of the mat. 1 minute to go. Good snap from Nashon. He finds an ankle, he's in. Whizzer here from Vito Arujau, now standing single for Nashon Garrett. Can he get the finish? This would be huge. Tries to step behind, but wow, Vito gets his foot to the mat. Great defense.
Yeah, just incredible adjustment there from Vito. I was a little nervous. Nashon needs a 4, and if Vito fights that too hard, would he give up exposure? But he knew what he was doing. 30 seconds to go.
Vito on the edge. Another shot, double knee sprawl for Vito. There's a step out point. Oh, wow.
And a 1 point for
caution and one offered, but just a regular one from the judge in the chair.
Yeah, I don't get the caution one call there. It seemed like he was trying to circle in.
But was not. Remember, you have in freestyle wrestling, it's 2 out of 3. You have to have agreement from the whistle, the judge, and the chair. So you got some checks and balances.
10 seconds left.
Calls this. Nashon Garrett's in 4 seconds, but he's gonna need something big. He's gonna score, but time's gonna run out. Should be a 6-5 final.
Wow. 6-5 on the takedown. Nashon was in position to go for that gut wrench, but ran out of time. And here's another look at that last sequence.
And he's working for this gut. If he gets that turn there, Nashon Garrett steals match 1. But instead, it's Vito Arujau striking first, winning a 6-5 battle against Nashon Garrett.
A 4th time in a row, Vito able to get a 4-point move in the match, and he needed it this time. Without that 4-pointer, he doesn't win.
100%. And for Nashon, I think it was a preventable 4. I mean, we'll go back and we can maybe see it again. Maybe it was inevitable that he was going to land on his back, feet to back, but it seems like if he turned down there, maybe we have a different match 1 winner, but that's part of Vito's plan. He's a big point scorer, big point scoring potential. He's been doing it a long time.
Stronger today than ever before.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for match 2 there. You got to get the feeling that if Nashon makes just a little bit of an adjustment, he may be able to come get that one back. And we'll take a look at a highlight. There's a walkout.
This is the finish for Nashon Garrett that got the point scoring party started. There's that outside step attack from Vito Arujau.
There's that re-attack.
Man, Nashon might have just been in a bad spot all the way for that re-attack. These are the closing sequences. You see the anguish on Nashon's face as he's working for that gut wrench, but it just doesn't come. We're going to be back with 65 kilograms. Yanni Diakomahalis versus Nick Lee after this.
Turn your attention to the Jumbotron for Trivia Time presented by Pin TV. How much wrestling trivia do you know? Feel free to just shout out the answers when you see them up there. I think that one might be from Stillwater.
That's a
Hey,
great,
it's John W.
That's a great vest.
Only wrestler to win 4 titles in 4 different weight classes. That one seems like everybody should know that one. Huh. He's prone to the color red. He's getting younger every moment. Hey, it's Kyle Dake. The folks at Frenchie's even knew that one.
Youngest athlete to win a senior world medal in women's wrestling.
Little hint, she was also one of our Olympic coaches in 2016. It's Asun Johnston, early trailblazer in women's wrestling.
Which Greco-Roman wrestler won Olympic silver in '96 and world medals in '94 and '95? Who you got, folks?
Wait for it. Dennis Hall.
And when and where did women's freestyle wrestling make its Olympic debut?
Something about that city gives us a lot of Olympic wrestling debuts. It sure as heck isn't New Brighton, Minnesota. Athens, Greece, 2004. And once again, thanks for playing Trivia Time presented by Pin TV. We go Greco-Roman 63 kilos, match 1. In the red, representing the Sioux Plains Wrestling Club and New York Athletic Club, Hayden Tuma.
And his opponent wearing the blue, representing Army W Cap, Xavier Johnson.
Time for match number 3. Yanni Diakomahalis, the 4-time NCAA champion, taking on Nick Lee, Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. And I believe the last time these two hit, it was Nick Lee, the winner at the Olympic trials, David.
Yeah, interesting history between these guys. Nick Lee won at the Olympic trials. And man, it's hard to talk because Yanni's coming out. This crowd is fired up. But yeah, Nick Lee won their only meeting in freestyle. It was 16-8. Nick Lee had an 8-0 lead in that match. He won that one big, and the only other time they've wrestled was a folk style match in 2017. Nick Lee was still in high school when Yanni won that one.
A lot has changed since that time. A lot has changed since Nick and Yanni wrestled. Even at the Olympic trials, Yanni made his 2 teams since the Olympic trials, winning a world silver medal last year in Belgrade, Serbia, breaking Team USA's drought, where Bill Zadek was the last medalist in 2006. Yanni got it done. He's trying to get back on this team. But standing in his way, a familiar opponent, a very game opponent in Nick Lee.
Talking to Nick Lee yesterday, he is every bit aware of, Yanni winning that world silver, and he says he's won last time, but he considers Yanni to be one of the best in the world. He knows he needs a whole lot of effort to beat Yanni this time.
And her opponent wearing the blue, representing the USOPTC and Titan Mercury, Jakara.
Yanni going to be cornered by familiar coach Mike Gray. He's been in his corner a long time alongside Frank Pirelli. Nick Lee cornered by Cody Sanderson and Jimmy Kennedy.
Nick Lee, very successful college career as well, 2-time NCAA champ. Yanni went ahead and doubled it. He got 4. go.
Here we go, match number 1, 65 kilograms. Yianni Diakomihalis in the red. Taking on Nick Lee in the blue, and Nick Lee almost had a bite of that ankle for a moment. Yianni able to kick out. We are 13 seconds in here to match number 1. Got to win 2 matches here to make the world team. Represent Team USA in Belgrade, Serbia.
Really nice angle on that shot there from Lee. He mentioned yesterday in his interview that he's trying to wrestle a little less straight on. You saw that there.
Nick had to have 2 comeback victories, as you see Yianni trying to step behind, now looking to drag go behind, one of Nick Lee's best positions, but Yianni able to clear out of it. Lee needed to come back against his teammate Bo Bartlett and then Joey McKenna in the finals just to make it to this point.
His ability to come back really impressive against McKenna. He was down 5-0, ended up winning the match 10-5.
All right, nice shot here by Nick Lee. He's in deep, good position to finish, but we've seen Yianni is dangerous, and oh, it's Yanni's points. 2 blue and then 2 red from the judge. What's going to be the call here? 2 red. They go Yianni.
And Lee trying to get on top. Yianni controlled that wrist. And Yianni looking over at the clock to see when the points were going to go up, what they finally awarded, because it was awarded 2 on the mat initially. But as we've already said, it's 2 officials have to agree on a score, and they're going to come have a conference, make sure they get this right. Really savvy by Yianni after that to control the wrist so that he didn't give up the point on the reversal.
Yeah, let's get another look at that, because it's an interesting position and a familiar one for Yianni. If you watch Yianni, I mean, you may be having flashback to 2019 Final X. It's a nice shot here. Nick Lee ends up on a high crotch, set Yianni right to his butt. Yianni with this chest wrap position, it feels like it's Yianni taking him through more than Nick Lee taking him through. And they're gonna go 2 blue, 2 red.
First 2 on the board for Lee. Countered by
So they're gonna go back, adjust the score. So they're saying Nick Lee exposed Yianni, then Yianni exposed Nick Lee. So this could be 2-2 on the scoreboard. Yianni will have the criteria advantage.
And yeah, flashback to 2019, and there's another Nittany Lion wrestler there. It was Zane Rutherford. That one ended up going to arbitration. He had to wrestle again later in the summer.
Yeah, that was crazy, and that was the question. It's like, it's eerily similar. There's a shot from Yianni Diakomihalis, but good defense here from Nick Lee, and he comes up with head position and an underhook.
Lee controlling that wrist, though, and that's going to shut that underhook down for the most part.
Lee from Indiana, Yianni from New York, Rochester. Another shot attempt there, but Nick Lee was ready. To beat a little more baseline, a little more fundamental for Nick Lee is going to be key against someone as active as Yianni. And now they're both exchanging left, right, both trying to find an angle, and it's Yianni who fires an attack on both knees now. Nick Lee looking to find an angle to score, nothing there.
Yianni not able to get very deep on that single, has to adjust and come up.
And 6-1 lead for Johnson of the Army's world-class
Under a
athlete
minute to
program.
go, 35 seconds left, and
the blue
ties. And Yanni's going to get warned for passivity. That's just the first warning.
So far, no one's gone on the shot clock in the first 2 matches.
That's how you know we've had some good action.
Absolutely.
Lee stays in good position at basically all times, and Yanni's having a hard time opening him up.
Driving forward here is Nick Lee, trying to bring him to the zone. An attack from Yianni, but it's a drag re-attack by Nick Lee. He's in the splits, 4 seconds. Yanni's got to defend. He's got a whizzer foot on the hip, but Nick Lee's gonna run out of time. And man, that pressure of Nick Lee got all that started. He got that pressure going. Yianni felt like he was maybe gonna go out, fires off an attack, which goes right into Lee's best position, that drag re-attack. He almost had it, and maybe Yianni saved by the bell there.
You know, there are times where you might have seen Yianni try to advance in that whizzer and try to find the score of his own, but he just watched the seconds tick off the clock. Very situationally aware, but if you're in the corner right now,
yeah, so far, all of Yianni's attacks, he's barely getting in, very extended.
And now, I say Yanni's got to figure out a way to get through Nick Lee's defense, but he has the lead on criteria.
And a technical superiority match one victory.
The scoreboards they have in the arena do not indicate criteria. It's not great for the athletes.
No, you're exactly right. That is not great. So yeah, Yanni has the criteria advantage by last score criteria.
And Yanni asked the official a couple times just to make sure he has criteria. Now he's in on a shot, trying to take Nick Lee to the edge. He's gonna get one.
Good shot by Yanni, and does a good job staying under so that Nick Lee couldn't ground himself and sprawl. Stays under, able to lift and get him towards the edge. One whole foot steps out, that's good enough for a point, and an outright lead for Yanni Diakomahalis.
Doesn't change anything for Lee, though. He's still just 1 point away from taking the lead. If he gets a step out or a shot clock, he'll have the advantage.
2-on-1 now for Yanni. Posted on the face is Nick Lee trying to clear it.
Shot
Another
there,
shot.
Yanni. Oof.
There you saw Lee immediately hustling to his left, looking for that go behind. Now he is behind, and it's Nick Lee was able to drag out of that position. Now he's in the lead outright 4-3, working for a turn. Back and forth we go, David. 4-3 lead now for Nick Lee.
Yanni defending that gut wrench is big. Nick Lee, we've seen him get that at the US Open. He's got a good one. And now Yanni needs to find his way to 2 points. One won't do it.
Yes, Nick's 2-2s trumps Yanni's 1 and 2. Still a lot of time, minute 40. There's a shot, very shallow again. Right side for Yanni. He clears out, knows he's not gonna be able to get a finish there. 90 seconds to go in the match. Yanni's gonna need to find a way to a 5th point, or Nick Lee will win this match. Another shot, he goes one way then the other, but Nick Lee seems ready for everything that Yanni's throwing at him. Steps and circles out of it is Nick Lee.
Yanni takes a look at the clock. He keeps trying to figure out how much time is left, and Lee now with an underhook and a wrist.
And now a little elbow control, duck attempt there from Yanni, but he's on the edge now, grounded, and that should be, oh wow, no way.
They're gonna confirm that.
There they go, caution in 1. Man, he level changed the elbow control duck. And they're going parterre too.
That's gonna kill some clock. If nothing else, and the clock was actually running. They're gonna put some seconds back on.
So they clearly don't like Yanni. Maybe they're thinking he's gaming the grounded rule, which I can understand.
Lee drops to a gut wrench.
Oh wow, he's got the
lace.
slice.
Ooh.
Had it momentarily. And trap arm now. Can he get a turn? Yes, he does. But now a 1 reversal off the turn. It's going to make it 7-4. Nick Lee in the lead by 3, 36 seconds to go. Now Yanni working for a turn. He's got a good gut wrench zone, but he's given up on it.
And now, wow, 7-4. Nick Lee with a 3-point lead, 33 seconds to go.
And Yanni shakes his head.
Collects himself.
And there's a left side high cross now trying to come out the back door. Is Yanni now finishes up around the body. 7-6 Nick Lee's lead. Can he get a turn here? He's working hard for it. And now stepping over is Nick Lee. Nothing yet though. He hangs onto the leg, 15 seconds to go.
Yanni trying to get that leg bent, not able to do it. 11 seconds left. Yanni wants to know criteria. He's asking Mike Gray. Gray is not indicating. He wants to know, does he need 1 or 2? The official is not obligated to tell him that, and here we go.
7 seconds to go. Yanni's going to need to score. Down by 1. Nick Lee can evade. They're going to hit him for attention. 3 seconds to go. Nick Lee can evade, and that's just what he's going to do. 7-6. Nick Lee takes match number 1 against the reigning world silver medalist, Yanni Diakomahalis.
Nick Lee with 2 straight freestyle wins in a row over Yanni, and this guy has Yanni's number right now.
So far, you can tell that Yanni can win the match, but Nick Lee is going to be a tough nut for him to crack.
Kind of wonder if Yanni will benefit from a little bit more time off the scale. Sounds like it was not the easiest of cuts for him, and we're going to get a look at some of the action from this match. There's Nick Lee walking out and Yanni as well.
There was plenty of it. Great match between these two. And it started with this attack where, you know, depends who you ask, who gets the points, but they said 2 and 2 to get this started.
There's that step out that Yanni got, and man, Yanni attacking Nick Lee, able to get around behind. Got to that gut wrench. Now this was that caution to 1, and there's the match in the hand raise.
Man, I don't know about, I mean, it's my opinion. Weird caution to 1 there. It's a very common position that you see. But anyways, move back with 70 after this. But first, Final X is brought to you by Tezos, the energy-efficient blockchain and official partner of Flow Sports. Tezos, designed to evolve, built to empower. Visit Tezos.com to learn more. We'll be back with 70 right after this.
177 kilos. Representing the Sun-Kissed Kids, Robert Perez III.
And his opponent wearing the blue, representing Army
All right, there you see Zane Rutherford getting ready to head out to the mat. Trying to make back-to-back world teams here at 70 kilograms. He also got over the hump, got on the podium at the World Championships, bringing home a world silver medal for Team USA. It was a tournament full of medals for USA Wrestling. There you see the Zane trade, a little Johnny Cash playing in the arena. Zane was a 3-time NCAA champion, 2-time Hodge Trophy winner.
Getting that world medal, huge for Zane, and a big year for him off the mat as well. He had his son Stetson on New Year's Eve.
Oh, man. No.
And you're seeing Kyle Dake.
That's not Kyle Dake.
Yeah, it's going to be Tyler Berger coming out here.
Zane would be not pleased if it was Kyle Dake.
I mean, these Penn State guys are going to wrestle each other one way or another.
Yeah, I guess so. There you see Tyler Berger headed out to the mat. These two have met previously. It was all Zane.
And Tyler Berger was on the Bader show within the last few weeks. He explained when they wrestled that match, he was on the backside of a U.S. Open. He said he's had little sad boy feelings in that one, so hopefully he can regroup, but he knows he's got his hands full with Zane Rutherford.
Sad boy matches are a real thing.
They do happen.
It happens.
We all have one.
And the question with Zane Rutherford, not just outside of this series, is next year, what does he do? He's in a non-Olympic weight. He could go back down to 65 where he's made world teams in the past, or does he test the waters and go all the way up to 74? That seems unlikely. He seems like he's going to come down to 65, but you look at him, he's pretty thick at 70 kilograms.
Yeah, he's really enjoyed embracing that thick man life, and you can tell, man, this guy, he has the ability to put on muscle.
All right, now we're ready to go for match number 1 at 70 kilograms in the red. That's Zane Rutherford, Nittany Lion Wrestling Club. Oh, nice low shot by Tyler Berger. He's in deep. He doubles off. Now working a chest wrap is Zane Rutherford, but it's Tyler Berger with the finish.
He said he was going to make adjustments. So far he has. Really nice low-level attack, and maybe more impressive, Zane had that chest wrap locked tight. Berger was able to move side to side, get free from there, and get the points.
He's able to get his weight back, so Zane didn't have quite the lock on that chest and able to get a finish. And that speed to the legs is the one advantage you can really point to with Berger. He is really, really fast. He can generate offense from his leg attacks. But the question is, can he withstand the pace of Zane Rutherford, the physicality? Zane makes every match a fight.
Berger definitely does have the ability to execute late in matches. His U.S. Open final against Sammy Sasso, great example of that one. Had to come from behind with like 8 seconds left to get a takedown.
Berger made the move to the Pennsylvania RTC. Head coach Brandon Slater's a single leg. Zane Rutherford, they're on the edge, but he's bringing them back in. He says, I want all 2. gonna try to finish backside. That's exactly what Zane's gonna do. Taking the lead 2-2 over Berger.
Really nice adjustment there once he got to the leg. Some guys will settle for one, not Zane. He was gonna bring him back in all the way.
Good response from Zane Rutherford. There he fires off a double. He comes up with an underhook. Berger clears out of it. 1:34 to go.
And Tyler Berger, you know you can score now, and they're going to warn him for passivity. First warning. If you're Berger, you got to figure out a way to endure this hand fight without letting Zane put a bunch more points on the board.
Yeah, he doesn't want to be engaged there. He goes one way, then the other. Just Berger tries to get in Zane's right leg, but can't get it.
Zane is so good at taking ground when he gets that collar. Oh, gets to the leg, unable to capitalize on the shot.
Back to that collar, Zane Rutherford. Now he's taking some ground. Now pulling on that head is Zane Rutherford, trying to clear to an angle. Nothing there, 56 seconds to go in the first period, 2-2. They're gonna hit Berger for passivity, maybe that's what the whistle would like, but it's gonna get white paddled.
45 left in the first. Zane continues to stalk. There's a shot. Oh, nice go behind attempt there. One way then the other. Zane Rutherford, that was so nice. He was most of the way to the takedown one side, then he had to go back the other way and got it.
Great work, short offense from Zane off the shot from Berger. Goes one way, then the other, as you mentioned, David, and great short offense. And that's one of the positions the Penn State Nittany line is not talked about enough, how good they are at scoring counter offense, getting go-behinds off, drag go-behinds or re-attacks. And that was a prime example there from Zane Rutherford.
Zane Rutherford ranked #1 in the world at 70 kilos at the moment. Short time left. And Berger didn't like that hands to the face, but that's going to do it for the first period. Let's take another look at that last score. It was really nice action.
Let's take a look at that takedown from Zane. That shot drags one way, then goes the other, right, then left, extending his lead 4-2.
So impressive. Zane Rutherford, his feet are always moving. There's really not a time that you're going to see Zane Rutherford just hanging in a collar tie. He's always taking those little steps forward or side to side, and it's just creates such an advantage for him.
And we're underway in the second period. And Zane Rutherford picking up where he left off. There's a shot, a lot of offense now, trying to finish up around the body. Now underhook. What's going to be the call? They're going to go 2 to confirm. Zane adding to his lead and jogs right back to the center. And we're back underway.
6-2 is a tough hole for Berger to climb out of. That opening attack was his best moment. We'll see if we can get back to something like that.
And Zane just so active with that right hand, kind of post ahead, pulls on the collar. Been able to create a lot of openings, force some bad shots from Berger. Just great positional wrestling from Zane Rutherford.
He's always created a lot of openings with that hand on the forehead. A lot of people credit him for that hands to the face rule in NCAA wrestling. And
he almost had that leg there. Pulls the wrist with that left hand to Zane. Shot, but now he's right in Zane's wheelhouse. Can he convert? Short offense position. He's got that underhook in the chin.
Stalemate. Good news for Berger. Kind of got the feeling that Zane was waiting to see which way Berger was going to go so that he could adjust. Berger wisely just kind of hung out until they whistled it back to their feet. Berger getting frustrated with the heavy hands of Zane. We've seen a lot of Zane's opponents complain about that.
He's no fun. They're gonna warn Berger, I guess, for disengaging. There he fires off an attack. That's what the pressure brings out of you. You got to either attack or stay in the fight and get beat up. Another shot from Berger. Now 2-on-1 for Zane Rutherford. Head position for Berger. Twisting that arm, trying to finish behind now is Zane Rutherford. And he's going to add to his lead 2 more.
Berger maybe tried to stay in bounds a little too long, and by the time he was out, he had lost his balance. Zane gets the 2, and he's got a 6-point lead.
And Zane, once again, just sprints back to the middle of the mat. Can't wait to get started again.
You know,
1:16 to go.
Some guys 6-point lead, you think maybe they'll wind it down, but Zane doesn't really know how to do that. He's going to keep coming forward.
Head tap from Zane there. Nice single leg in good position. Now he's standing with it. Whizzer here from Tyler Berger. Now Zane brings him towards the edge. He's got 1 for sure, and he's just going to take that 1. 9-2 the lead for Zane Rutherford. He's really in the driver's seat here.
See if Berger tries to attack off the whistle. He's trying to hit that post a couple times. A hard tie there again from Zane. We're talking about whether Zane's going to go up or down. He said he spends a lot of time in the room wrestling with Carter Starachi.
Oh my gosh. Starachi, a 3-time NCAA champion at 174 pounds. This weight, 70 kilograms, 154.5 pounds. Double leg for Zane Rutherford. And those should be Zane's points. They're going to go 4. 2 offered, 4 confirmed for Zane. That's the tech.
Really nice attack there. Berger, you can't really blame him for Berger trying to go lat whip there. At that point, if you're Berger, you got to try something. So.
And they're going to challenge this. Coach Slay's going to try to get this from 4 to 2. This is a, you know, YOLO brick. But it could get changed. You know, I've seen Coach Slay's very good with the brick, so there is a chance this ends up not being a 4-point feat and back to just a 2.
If it does change, I think it'll go from 4 red to 2 red. Berger tried to kind of whip him over here. It's just, I don't know. You know.
I don't think Zane exposed there.
No, I don't think he was quite past 90.
Seems like will be a pretty obvious 4-point feat to back. The jury of appeal will take a look at it and determine what the right call actually is. If the call stands, the match is over. It's a tech for Zane Rutherford.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what's the
What's the
ruling? Zane he's had some interesting Final X experiences. Talked about the series with Yanni that went to arbitration. Last year he wrestled Jordan Oliver in Stillwater. That one went to 3 matches, 3 incredible matches.
Only 2, so good brick from Coach Slay. 11-2, so the match will continue, although there's just 16 seconds to go. So it's a long road back and a short time to get there. 11-2, Berger's gonna shoot, and he got a little headbutt, and Zane takes exception.
Zane's bleeding now.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Zane's furious.
And Berger's upset too. He's yelling at him.
Look at Zane's face.
Yeah, man. Covered in blood. And
yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear what's going on there.
they just showed it on the Jumbotron in the arena, and that's what that collective gasp was about.
We got a Penn State media member just screaming "no class" here behind David and I.
It's just an unbiased Penn State media member. But you know what? He may have a point this time.
I mean, yeah, that's not cool. And it's 16 seconds. Everyone, it's not hard to figure out what's going on. Tyler Berger's a good dude. But
Yeah.
heat of battle, you make a choice. Maybe you look back on your regret a little bit.
Right in the heat of the moment, though, I mean, he looked Zane straight in the face and said, "Man, you're doing the same thing to me." And
But he's not.
he's not doing that. He's just incredibly physical, and he's effective doing it. He uses it to score points, and it's a different type of thing.
And he might need a stitch there. It was a pretty big gash. Oh, boy. Look at it.
Oh, man.
That is a big gap.
That's a deep one.
They're going to have to take that for sure, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's rough. You get a restart. You think you have a tech, you get a restart with 16 seconds left, and you end up with a gash and a head wrap, and maybe a little more personal coming out for match 2.
Yeah.
You look up at the goal of $185,000 we got your money. So get on that phone, 44321. Text it today and help the greatest.
So they ultimately cleaned it out and they decided we got to go gable wrap here.
And
Much to the probably annoyance of Zane Rutherford.
yeah, so between a challenge and a headbutt, blood time, wow, that was a hard hand slap.
Yeah, and this is going to be a fun last 12 seconds here in this match as Berger and Zane going to hit each other a little bit. And now on a shot is Zane as this one ends. It's going to be 11-2 for Zane, and they'll get up chest to chest.
They're exchanging a few words. They're not done.
Zane's high, and you know what? Sort of, it takes a lot to get that out of Zane. No matter what's going on, he stays pretty even keel, but he absolutely took exception to that. Zane Rutherford, your winner in match number 1.
A little more drama going into match number 2, the way that thing ended. Take a look at some highlights from that match. There were some real good ones, and it was the opening attack of Tyler Berger. Sits Zane to his butt, defends the chest wrap, gets the 2, and you thought maybe Tyler Berger is going to figure something out here, but Zane just continuing to move forward throughout, gets to his attacks. There's a single leg on the edge, and that was so savvy. Brings it back in to get the finish. And Zane just doesn't stop. Nice go behind the one way, then the other. And another attack there. Zane. There's a 4-pointer that then got changed to a 2. And we're gonna toss to a break. We'll see you guys for 74 kilos.
The Tezos blockchain is designed to be different. It's built to be powerful but flexible, allowing even the most rigid of frameworks to evolve and update over time. It's a network built to last, designed to seamlessly adapt to the mysteries of tomorrow. Stronger today than ever before, and even stronger tomorrow. When great new ideas emerge, Tezos will be ready. And so will you. Tezos, designed to evolve, built to empower.
All right, we are back and got a little time to catch our breath here. On the screen, there's a little Beat the Streets testimonial happening. Beat the Streets doing good things here in New York, and well, we're actually in New Jersey, but this is sponsored by Beat the Streets New York. Doing good things here and around the country. All right, we are gonna let these guys enjoy this in the venue, and we're gonna toss the break. We will see you guys at 74 kilos right after this.
This was a major celebration, one of the most biggest accomplishments in my life. I found unwavering support from Beat the Streets community, propelling me to come back the following year to win the title. I had to undergo surgery and self for 6 months. Wrestling has taught me a certain mental and determination. It taught me no obstacle is too big when you truly want something in life. Beat the Streets has shown me that I am capable and deserving of success. and this mindset will help me achieve new milestones as my journey continues. I am proud to say I am enrolling in the fall to Lehman College to major in psychology. Lastly, I would want to say I'm thankful for all the friendships and mentors I made through wrestling and Beat the Streets that guided me through this remarkable journey. Thank you, Beat the Streets, for all the opportunity you've given me to grow on and off the mat. I am forever grateful. And thank you. If you would love to consider to Beat the Streets to help student athletes like myself realize their dreams, text Final X to 44321.
We go Greco-Roman 72 kilos. Wearing the red, representing the Army's world-class athlete program, Justice Scott.
And his opponent wearing the blue, representing Minnesota Storm, Pat Smith.
All right, 74 kilogram time. This is one of the most talked about matchups. You're gonna have Kyle Dake, Olympic bronze medalist, 4-time world champion, taking the mat to be facing his teammate, Jason Nolf.
These guys wrestled in Final X last year. They were not teammates last year. Kyle Dake was training at Cornell, and Jason Nolf said in the press conference yesterday it was a little bit of a surprise when Kyle Dake joined the team. But he said, you know what, ultimately, it's the coach's job to put together the best RTC, and it's my job to get the wins on the mat.
And that time is now, the time for Jason Nolf to tip the scales in his favor. There you see Jason Nolf, 3-time NCAA champion for Penn State. Interesting nugget, Jason Nolf has fewer losses as an NCAA wrestler than Kyle Dake, who's a 4-time NCAA champion. Nolf only lost his freshman year to Isaiah Martinez, other than an injury default loss later on.
Crazy to think Jason Nolf is the underdog here. 7 NCAA titles between the two wrestlers. Unbelievable, but not hard to understand why this is one of the most highly anticipated bouts of the night.
And it's the ultimate clash in styles. You've got Jason Nolf, ultra offensive, attacks both sides, can attack upper body. Whereas Kyle Dake, he can go, when he comes after you, he almost always scores, but his defense is always what set him apart. He can counter score when he gets on top. Maybe one of the best gut wrenches in the world.
Yeah, and if you're wrestling Kyle Dake, you just can't make any mistakes. Jason Nolf had the only takedown in one of their matches last year, actually the only takedown in the series, but it was little things that ended up costing Nolf the match. He's got to be basically perfect.
Yeah, Dake is so savvy, so heady. He knows how to get a point when he needs a point, and that's what happened in the previous meeting. Nolf got the takedown, and Dake immediately is like, all right, comes out and he scores a point and retakes the lead. And it was Nolf with the lead at the break for both matchups. And now here we go, 74 kilogram. Match number 1 is underway. Kyle Dake in the red, Jason Nolf in the blue.
That's Pat
and right away it's Dake
out of
pressure forward, taking a little bit of ground.
32 years
Dake
old, 3-time
pressure
US
forward and then
member.
pulling
He was
back
a
with
golden
those little
gopher.
snaps. Trying to keep Nolf off balance.
For the U. His opponent is Army W Camps Justice
hands to the
Scott.
face
Las
there
Vegas,
for
Nevada
Dayton.
native. Green Valley High
Signaled
School.
at him.
Attended Baker University before joining the Army World Class Athlete Program. 2021
On with that left
Junior
hand
World
is
Team.
Dake, and he gets to that collar tie. They're both shaking out their fingers. Golf's kind of funny.
And first point on the
Yeah,
board.
I mean,
down
there is this,
for,
there's this little bit of a political game that these athletes play with the
Titan
officials,
Mercury
where
Racing Club.
they
She's
signal to the
19
refs or they
years
shake their
old
hand
from
like the other
San Jose,
guys
California. Silver
doing
Creek
something
High
he
School.
shouldn't be, and offside.
I think Jason's just
Winning
outright mocking.
Iowa
He's just
Wesleyan
mocking him?
Yeah, I think so.
She's
He's being
William
silly.
Penn College,
That's funny.
a world U20 bronze medalist last year, and a two-time NAIA
Head
women's
taps
champ.
from Dake, trying to find an opening. Right now it's just positionally taking ground
from
as Kyle
Sunshine
Dake.
Kids, 27 years old from Culver, Indiana.
1 minute in, no
Silver
score,
medalist
but
in
it's Kyle
21
Dake
and
definitely
22,
controlling center, and that's what the
member of
officials are looking
Olympic
for.
team
The
in
man
2020.
who's controlling center and gets the benefit of the doubt, and as their opponent, if there's no points going up, will go on the shot clock.
That's Kayla Miracle.
And we still haven't seen one, but it seems imminent. We're going to have a shot clock in this match.
Kayla Miracle,
Yeah,
also
it's coming.
four-time WCWA champ for
And there is
Campbellsville.
passivity. And here comes the clock. Minute 37 left in the first. If you're new to freestyle, if Nolf is unable to score in the next 30 seconds, Kyle Dake will get a point.
Now, Dake can score during this time and still
And
earn the
here's the
shot
middle.
clock point, so he's still incentivized to attack.
32-year-old Kyle Dake, Nittany Lion Wrestling Club, and Titan Mercury Wrestling Club out of Lansing, New York.
And in these
Another
matches where you know
Cornelian.
it's going to be a chess match, no one really goes that hard to fight off the
You
shot clock.
probably know
They
this
know this
already, but he
match
won 4
is
NCAA
likely to be
titles
won in
in 4
that
different
second
weight
period.
classes.
So Nolf knows
Also
he
a
can't overextend
four-time
himself to
world
prevent 1
champion,
point.
winning in 2018,
If you do that, you could end up
19, 21,
giving up 4, 5, 6
and an
points
Olympic
in one
bronze
flurry against
medalist.
Kyle Dake.
And his opponent, 27-year-old
Nolf has
Jason
had to
Nolf
work
from
fairly
Yatesville,
hard to
Pennsylvania.
be a little more disciplined. He's used to wrestling in the NCAA level where he could just open it up and let it all
Four-time
hang out.
All-American, three-time NCAA
He's got to
champion for the Nittany
be a little
Lions
more
of Penn
reserved, though,
State.
and he said that in his post-match. Dake trying to take ground with the underhook. Nolf controlling the elbow, trying to circle in.
And they'll break that free. Dake was pretty active in that position, but Nolf was able to defend well enough. You could tell Dake was trying to take him out of bounds, but you see the strength of Jason Nolf even in adverse
Dake
positions.
leads the series between these two.
Collar tie for Kyle Dake.
4-0.
Once again has Nolf, but towards the edge. And there's a shot, big lift for Kyle Dake. He's trying to drive him out. But wow, I don't know if he got two there.
Should be one. There was never a broken quad pod, and one is going to be
And two
confirmed.
offered, one
Man, that
confirmed.
is such a huge sequence for Kyle, but even
Is he in
bigger
freestyle
maybe
wrestling?
for Jason Nolf. I mean, Kyle in that
Takedown is
moment is thinking
established
for
when you've got three
thinking 4
supporting
points. And instead,
Not the hands
like
or
a
feet,
cat,
so a
Jason
knee,
Nolf lands on all
an
fours,
elbow,
doesn't have a knee or elbow or head
A
hit.
shoulder, a hip, or
And
a
with
head.
that, it's only a 1-point step out.
Freaky athleticism there
Need
for
to be
Nolf
down
to
on
avoid
that
4
surface.
or 2, just giving up to 1.
For
7 seconds
takedown
left in
to
the
be
first.
confirmed.
And it's a similar story for
And
Kyle
at the
Dake.
break,
It's the
3-0
ones
for
that
Pat
separate
Smith.
him from Jason Nolf. No twos
our
yet.
Greco
It's going to be
match.
2-0
2-0
Kyle Dake
Dake
at the
as we
break.
move to the break
They
here
were indicating
in
towards
center
Kyle
mat
towards the end of the
action.
first period, but
At the
right as
break,
that
down in our
happened,
women's match, 2-1.
Dake shot in. So I don't think he got that warning. Here, he definitely did. There you see a double leg
For
left
Kayla
side. He
Miracle.
lifts up, and from this position here, he's thinking 4, but wheelbarrows towards the edge. No knee hits, no elbow, no head. That's just a step out.
Really nice there from Nolf, and he regroups after a conversation with Varner and Nickel in his corner. He said Bo Nickel, he thinks, can wrestle more like Kyle Dake and about anybody else in America, and he says he feels prepared for this matchup because of the goes he's had with Nickel.
Underway in the second period, 2-0 lead for Kyle Dake. Jason Nolf
two
has
on the
not
board for
been
Miracle.
offensive at all. And that's a weird thing to say, to go a period without a Jason Nolf leg attack. You have to figure that's calculated, part of the plan, and he knows he's got to come this second period. I expect more offense from Jason in the final 2.5 minutes here.
The great equalizer, the trap on gut. Makes it 6-1.
Dake continuing to be tough in that hand fight, moving forward and then snapping and keeping Nolf off balance. The takedown Nolf got last year was in that cross ankle situation.
Activity picking up a little bit for Nolf as he changes levels. Dake snaps him down, but no angle to be found there as we're coming up on 2:05. There's a shot attempt from Jason Nolf. Another shot attempt from Nolf.
Seems like that straight on shot's gonna be tough to get against Dake.
And it's probably going to take a combination of attacks to find your way to the leg of Kyle Dake. It's tough to get in on his a finger hits the eye of Kyle Dake.
Minute 46. We'll see if we see Nolf pick up his footwork, pick up his pace a little bit.
There's a collar and ankle attempt there from Jason Nolf. Minute 40 to go now. And looking re-attack off the collar and ankles. Kyle Dake, nothing there though.
Dake has been the one scoring in this match, but Nolf still does a takedown away, and now they're going to put Kyle Dake, not put him on the clock. That's the first warning for passivity, so no clock for Dake. Nolf still just a takedown away from gaining the lead.
We've seen it so many times over the years. Kyle Dake is not uncomfortable in these situations. A narrow lead is a big lead with Kyle Dake on the mat. Minute to go. A pair of ones for Dake still separates the two, and we've still not seen Jason Nolf get in on Kyle Dake's legs.
Nolf taking ground.
There's a shot, he's in. Single leg, but now lifting. Head pinch position for Nolf, chest wrap for Kyle Dake. And now in big trouble, two offered from the chair and confirmed.
Trapped arm locked up as well, does Dake, and here he goes.
Oh, wow, two more. What a sequence for Kyle Dake, blowing this match out of the water, and that's why you saw Jason Nolf was so selective with his attacks, because when he did one good attack, it ended up being 4 points for Kyle Dake.
And that chest wrap just crumpled him. He gets that neck pressure, and it just, I mean, it was impossible for Nolf to stay on his feet.
Yeah, the pressure and the power that Kyle Dake brings in that position has to be just insane. We've seen him do it to so many high-level wrestlers, including Jordan Burroughs, and now Jason Nolf trying to find his way to get back in this match as they go out of bounds. White paddled, 6-0 lead for Kyle Dake.
13 seconds left. Nolf might have jumped the whistle, but they're going to let it go and telling Kyle Dake to present. 8 seconds left.
Victory 6-1.
Another shot attempt for Nolf. 4 seconds to go.
Match number 1.
And that is going to do it. Match number 1 goes 6-0 for Kyle Dake.
And 6-0 to victory.
Nolf's going to have to regroup, and he got in deep on that leg, but you see why Dake is so hard to score on.
And Scott,
he's a match away from making another world team.
As we come back up to our feet, just one
both Nittany Lion Wrestling Club athletes make their way to their respective
3-3 on criteria.
Corners in the back.
Victory in round 1 for the Army's world-class athlete program. Justice Scott.
Very calculated first period, and then you saw why it was calculated in the second period with the counter score. But it started with this attack from Kyle Dake where he doubled